All right. So, do you want to become a really good digital marketer? Then that's what's happening in today's vlog. I talk about how do you go from just knowing nothing to becoming a really good digital marketer. So, let's begin today's podcast come vlog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so welcome to today's podcast. My name is Karan Dharamsi. I'm the CEO of the Marketing Nerdz, and in today's podcast come vlog, I'll talk about my journey and how did I become a digital marketer. Well, I have had a few people ask me in the comments and send me a message asking me how did I learn digital marketing and how did I become good at digital marketing. Well, so today I want to share my entire journey, and it's a long one, right? I hope you have the patience if you want to know about my journey, and in the process learn how do you go on to become a good digital marketer. So I don't know if you know me or if you do not know me. Let's start from the beginning, right? I first started off by becoming a personal trainer. I was working in the gym at 6,000 rupees a month. That was my salary. Of course, difficult to survive at 6k in Mumbai, and forget living a good life. Meeting your basic requirement was a big deal, and I did that for a while, and eventually my partner Sandhya and I started the first company, which was Contentorial, and which was a content marketing company. So we wrote content for clients around the world, and I wasn't a writer at that point. And my partner Sandhya, who had a journalism background, and she had a full merit scholarship from London School of Economics. They paid her 25 lakh rupees to go to London and study international politics. So she was a really good writer, and I sucked at writing. I was really bad at writing. In fact, I still remember during my engineering days when I was in the events committee for the college event, and I was talking to a couple of my juniors, and I sent them a text message at that point, and I did not know the difference between than and then. Right, so I used the wrong one, and then while I was talking to a couple of other members in the committee, I just overheard them talking and making fun of me about not knowing the usage of dan and then, which really freaked me out at that point, and I was so mind fucked, and that affected me for a really long time, and I had really bad speech at that point. So I wasn't a good writer, I wasn't a good speaker or a communicator at all. I sucked at writing. So I was good in a way. I had a natural talent in strategizing things. So my partner did the content work and I strategized. But the whole thing about not knowing how to write well really pinched me, and I was embarrassed at a lot of points, because I would always think before sending the message after that incident, am I using the right grammar? Am I not screwing up at some point? Will people make fun of me? Will I be embarrassed again? So I was in a really bad space as far as sending a text message to anybody is concerned. And even I became so conscious when I spoke after that, specifically in English, that it really affected my self-esteem. So, after meeting her, she really helped me become a better writer. And I always wanted to write just because I wanted to prove a point that, hey, I can write, and I can write in a decent, I can write with decent grammar and not making a lot of mistakes. So, as soon as we started getting writing projects, she would write and then I would help her with whatever I knew. She would help me correct all the basic mistakes that I made. And, over a period of time, I was writing for almost 1.5 years. I would write the content, she would edit the content, help me understand the mistakes that I made so that I would not make them the next time I wrote content. So that was a process that went on for about 1.5 years. So I focused purely on writing, and at that point it was purely a content marketing company, and that's when I came across the term SEO, because we were getting a lot of projects to write articles for SEO. So that's when we did a little bit of a research on SEO and really understood what SEO is all about, and came across a couple of other people who were in the SEO space. I think about 10 years, or no, I think 7 years or 8 years back, I came across SEO Moz, Rand from SEO Moz, and I started reading his articles, and that's when I was exposed to the whole world of internet marketing and online marketing, right? So that was about the first 1.5 years of our career, where we were writing content for other people. And then I wanted to do something of my own, because I realized I don't want to go out and work for anybody. Right? This is working okay for us. So I came across a lot of people who had that internet lifestyle thingy which they were promoting, and I was enamored by it. Not going to office, not reporting to anybody, the whole deal and whole shit we make about be your own boss and all that jazz. So I was like, hey, what can I do that I can be my own boss, work from home, work from anywhere, just have internet, no office, nothing at all. And thankfully I got a couple of clients who paid me really, really well. So we hired a couple of people to work for us, write for us, and overlook the entire thing. So while the money was flowing in, it was pretty good money flowing in from a content marketing company, but the thought of starting something of my own, having that internet lifestyle along with building a brand, never left my mind. So that's when since the money was there, we had quite a bit in the savings, I started exploring different courses. So I did a lot of free courses and stuff, and then went on to purchase these $20 courses and $50 courses. All the info was okayish, but obviously I'm not going to get the world changing information at $20 or $47. So that's when I came across a guy named Craig Palantine, who was in the fitness space. And since I wanted to start an online business in the fitness space, because I already had a fitness background, so I purchased his programs to understand what people really sell in the fitness program. And then I got to know that he had an online mentorship program for fitness entrepreneurs to help them launch their fitness business online, which was a little steep at that point. That was, I think, about $3,500 for a year, his mentorship. So I signed up for Craig's online mentorship program, and I really worked hard under his mentorship. He is amazing, a guy I highly recommend, because today we see a lot of all these wannabes who know nothing about stuff, who make no money, and who preach and teach stuff. But Craig, although a little old school, you may not find him like the most internet popular guy, but he's a guy who actually makes money and actually knows the stuff. And Craig, along with his partner, who is an amazing guy, Matt Smith, really amazing guy, and who are the owners of Early to Rise. So I learned a lot of stuff under them. I came across copywriting from them, and that's when I started my copywriting journey. I formally started my copywriting education, and from them I got to know about one of the guys who's had the biggest influence in my life, Dan Kennedy. Now Dan, again, is an old school person. You may not find him on Facebook and a lot of other places, because that's how he prefers to live his life. But I think he's one of the most amazing and the most genius marketers out there. So if you just Google the guy Dan Kennedy, really amazing guy. I think a lot of stuff that you see done online today is all thanks to Dan. Right? All the popular internet marketers that you see today are all Dan's creation, and are all thanks to his teachings that they've adopted and built and grown stuff online. So I was under Dan's mentorship. His mentorship is expensive. It was about $1,000 a month, and you got pretty decent access to him. So I did that for a while. I learned a lot of stuff from Dan. I was a part of his No BS monthly program, and I was also a part of his copywriting club. So I learned copywriting formally from him. And from there I got exposed to the world of direct response copywriting, which a lot of digital marketers today have no clue about, because if you're a marketer you really need to understand direct response copywriting and marketing, because internet marketing is all about direct response. You can calculate the ROI for every single paisa spent, right, which is where direct response is so important. So I got immersed in the direct response world. I studied people like Gary Halbert, Jay Abraham, and Brian Kurtz, and all the big direct response people. So I studied them deeply. If you go to my room, I'll probably do that in one of the vlog episode. I have a complete room dedicated to collection of best direct response advertising. I have like these bundles and bundles of best direct response ads that I purchased. I used to watch the DVDs of all the best direct response copywriters. So that's when my understanding of the whole direct response marketing grew, and from there I came into more commercialized marketing guys who teach funnels and all the other jazz. So it's been a long journey, almost a journey of 7 years, and have learned copywriting from the direct response world, from the mainstream world, and marketing from guys who are actual practitioners like Dan Kennedy, Craig Ballantynes, and all the other popular guys of, Matt Smith. So it's been a long this thing. So now that's why I think I'm a good digital marketer, because I understand the complete package, right? I think for anybody who wants to be a good digital marketer, I think one course isn't going to do it all. Of course, you need to do the courses, because I think that fastens your process of learning, but you need to learn multiple things. So one thing you need to learn is the basic, obviously your digital marketing certifications. Apart from that, you need to immerse yourself into copywriting, because nothing moves ahead digitally unless your copy, your content is awesome. The third thing you need to immerse yourself is in understanding different online business models. So that's what I was really good at in learning and understanding different business models. So you should follow somebody like Michael Masterson. He's really awesome. You should read his book Ready, Fire, Aim to know more about different types of business models out there. And of course, the fourth and the last thing that you should study to be a good digital marketer, which naturally came to me after making a lot of mistakes. And if you saw the last podcast and vlog I did, which was losing 25 lakh rupees, which is to know your numbers and understand financials, right? You need to do a course in reading a balance sheet. I think one book that I could suggest you pick up is Anil Lamba's Romancing the Balance Sheet. I think that's a good place to begin. I started off with that book, and it really helped me to understand the numbers better, and of course do a course in finance. And the most critical part, so after learning all of this, I wanted to understand the human emotion side of the whole thing better, because eventually marketing happens to human beings, right? Our consumers, no matter what company, what industry you are in, B2B, B2C, it's all about human beings. Human beings make the decision to buy, to go ahead with your product, your service, yes or no. So what does it really take to influence people, influence human beings? And that's when I came across Tony Robbins, who has also been a really big influence in my life. So I started off by reading his books, the Unleash the Power Within, and all the other books that Tony's written. And then I purchased his CD programs. So at that point, about 7 years back, we used to buy CDs. So I got his CDs and on different CD programs, audio programs that he had. And eventually I enrolled for his, I think it's about $15,000 strategic intervention program, which is the program which talks about all the strategies Tony Robbins uses when he's on the stage and in his live events, right? So it's a breakdown of all the strategies, which are NLP, strategic intervention, and a lot of other things, family therapy that he uses. And all his strategies are broken down by Chloe Madans, who is Tony Robbins' partner and is known as, I think she's one of the topmost psychiatrists and family therapists in the world. So from there, I went on to do a program on relationships, because a lot of emotional turmoil that happens in people's life is because of flawed and not so great relationships in their life. So I went on to sign up and enroll for a program called as Passion Patterns and the Goddess Project, which are conducted by Chloe Madan's daughter, Magli Pesha. So I did their course. So I've done a lot of stuff, and then I went on to do courses in NLP, which is Neuro Linguistic Programming. I enrolled for Michael Carroll's course and a lot of other stuff on NLP. And then from there, I went on to study hypnosis, because a lot of copywriting also comes from hypnosis, like the 3 hypnotic yes frame and stuff. So I learned hypnosis from Igor Levandowski. I hope I'm getting his pronunciation right. So he's a really smart guy as far as hypnosis is concerned, and a combination of hypnotherapy with NLP and how that's used in influence and marketing and email copywriting. So that's been a really vast journey of knowing different things and then connecting all of them to really create my own understanding of what marketing is and what really influences people. So when I think about marketing, it's a collection of all these different areas, which is direct response, copywriting, neuro-linguistic programming, strategic intervention, hypnosis, and finally a combination of it all, which is what I call marketing, right? So because we are dealing with human emotions, we are dealing with sales and persuasion, and we are dealing with, of course, numbers. So, well, this has been my journey. Like, I've learned so much to eventually understand what really works in digital marketing and to become a good copywriter. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's all going to take time. But for me, the difficult part was I had to figure things out by trial and error. There was no one to tell me that, hey, this is the first step, second step, third step, I should go from here to here to here. So it took me about almost 10 hours to figure things out. But thankfully for you, like if you're watching this video and if you've been stuck to this video till this far, you have a roadmap. Begin by doing your digital marketing certification so that you know the platforms, you understand and know how it all operates, and then simultaneously focus on learning copywriting, specifically direct response. And then step number 3, study hypnosis. Step number 4, study NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. And step number 5, learn strategic intervention, which is how to influence people, the whole human emotion side. And 6, do a course on sales. So once you understand how real life selling works, it's easier to translate the whole formula online. So, and the last bit is study numbers, learn how to read balance sheets, and study different business models. So I guess if you do these things, you are well on your way on the path to become a good digital marketer. No matter how technology changes, how AI comes into picture, how virtual reality comes into picture, you will have an amazing and successful career. But I also know that most people would watch this and be like, I can't do so much, right? I can't study so much. And that's the short path to a mediocre career, which would have a lot of bumpy rides in between, because you will always be susceptible to technology changes and you'll always need to figure and look for a new glamorous career. The only people who will be really good and will go a long way in this career are people who are great at all these things, because then you realize that it's the human emotion, right? And that's what you're trying to bring into your marketing when you know all of this. All right, so I think it was a long one. I'll wind it up here. I hope you take great things from this and build your own path to becoming a good digital marketer. This is me, Karan Dharamsi, signing off from today's vlog cum podcast. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Become an awesome digital marketer.